You guys out here for a party, you guys out here to march. Listen here, brothers and sisters. Hey, this is a wonderful May Day. I appreciate everybody coming out here. They got brothers and sisters from Canada, Southern California. Listen here, brothers and sisters. We're not alone. Okay? We're not brothers and sisters from Washington, D.C. We're not alone. Okay? One of the things I can tell you right now today, we got nothing but longevity here on the waterfront. We've been working closely with the truckers, with the maritime industry. We got to keep what we have. We have no room to give up. If we do, you will not have a job. It's only a matter of time. Your jobs will be gone. If they build any condominiums, if they build any hotels, you can rest assured the waterfront in Oakland is gone. There will be no more import-export. First speaker I got up is Sara Nelson.
Thank you, Melvin. And happy May Day, everybody. I'm the president of the Association of Flight Attendants, CWA. And you know, when we say May Day in the airline industry or on the docks, it's not necessarily a good thing. But it does get everybody's attention, doesn't it? Yay! So 133 years ago, workers stood up on an 8-day strike for the 8-hour day. There are workers who died for our rights. There are workers who died for our rights to form our unions, for working people to be able to come together and make our lives better. And I think we need to start out today with some union pride, because we couldn't be here right now. We couldn't be taking on this fight for this port. We couldn't be doing anything that we have to push our country forward for our children if it were not for our unions. So, on the count of 3, I want to hear you yell out your union. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Yeah, there's some union pride, all right. So listen, we are here to save this port, right? Yeah! We are here to tell the corporate elite that you do not control Oakland. I'm going to tell you right now, when people with money and power hear that there's going to be an airport built by them, or there is going to be a construction site near them, what do? They say, not in my backyard. They put together petitions with their corporate elite neighbors, and they call their powerful friends in the state houses and in the city halls, and they say, I am entitled to have a nice place to live. Well, let me tell you something. Workers of this country who move this country, build this country, make up America, deserve to have a nice place to live too. We deserve bread and we deserve roses too, do we not? Okay. So now all over this country, and do we have some Oakland teachers here? Okay. All over this country, teachers are showing us how it's done. There are no illegal strikes. There are only unsuccessful ones. And when people understand what's at stake, and they understand that our lives are connected, just like in this port, the jobs that this port produces loads onto trucks, where truckers move those goods to our communities, and the small businesses in our communities are able to get goods at a lower price and able to run their businesses. And we're able to get it to the people who can afford to live in this community. We're not going to push people out with high-priced condos, and we're not going to cede environmental rules that keep our community safe for our children going forward. We are connected. I will tell you, during the government shutdown, we had to understand what that fight was about. That fight was not about a wall on the southern border. That fight was about trying to make us believe that there is already a wall in this country, that we are divided. It was about driving us to the lowest common denominator. It was about privatizing everything. It was about putting control in the hands of the White House and the greedy. It was about taking away union rights. federal workers who have union contracts. And they said, on no notice, nowhere in private industry would this happen, you'd have 60 days notice. On no notice, you're out of a job. And we don't know when you're going to come back, and we don't care. And hundreds of thousands of you are essential workers, and you have to continue to come to work to make believe for the American public that our government is still functioning. And what they were hoping was that the American public would say, these people who you have vilified, GOP, for decades as nameless, faceless bureaucrats, they were hoping that we would say, yeah, we don't need those federal workers. But instead, what the labor community did was we told the stories of the people who were out of work. And those federal unions were working overtime to tell those stories of the people who were hurt. The people who are air traffic controllers and transportation security officers, and work in HUD with housing for our seniors, and clean up our parks that matter for our communities. We are connected. We can't do this alone. We are totally connected. And so we told those stories, and then we said, you are not going to put us in jeopardy. As flight attendants, I can tell you what it's like to form memorials for my friends who have died in a catastrophic accident. I know what it's like to be on the investigation team to determine what rules we should put in place because those regulations were written in my friend's blood. I know what it's like to put new security in place in this country because terrorists came and claimed my friends' lives. And if we had known even 1 minute before those things happened, we would have laid down our own lives to make sure that they didn't.
Yes.
So, as 2 million people were out of work, other people were forced to come to work without pay, and the rest of us were going to work in an increasingly unsafe environment. It was time to talk about what labor was willing to do, to stand up for our sisters and brothers, to stand up for our union rights, to stand up for the basic principle that if you go to work, you get paid.
Tell the story. Tell the story.
And so we said, we need to talk about all of labor joining together in a general strike to hold you accountable, Mr. Trump, for putting all of our lives on the line. And we have to know what we're willing to do to stand up for each other. You know, I think back to the Boston Marathon bombing and how the community pulled together and did things that other cities might have thought was impossible. They were on lockdown in their homes and they had their eyes everywhere. They were looking for those terrorists, and then they helped each other, pull each other up and heal in that community. And since we're talking about baseball here, I'm just going to say that I am a Boston-based flight attendant, and so yes, I am a Red Sox fan. But hold on, the Red Sox had something to tell us here.
Yankees.
Yankees suck. Okay, so David Ortiz stood in the middle of Fenway Park, in the middle of that effort to pull that community together and pull everyone back up and work together. You know what he said? Oh, all right. What? He said, this is our fucking city. And I'm going to tell you something. With that sense of urgency, with that sense of calling, it is time for Oakland to say, this is our fucking city. So, look to your left. Look to your right. Tell everybody around you, I've got your back.
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 Okay, now listen, one more thing. The labor movement is about moving big ideas. And there are some people who would say a stadium for the Oakland A's is too big to take on. I say the working class of this city and the people who live here are connected like never before and can take on that stadium and get them to build it somewhere else other than on this dock. So tell your stories. Tell your stories. Get your stories out there about what this dock means to you and how this dock connects to the city. And whose dock is this? Whose dock is this? Whose dock is this? We're going to claim this dock, and I've got your back. I've got your back. Right.
Hey, brothers and sisters, I got Keith Brown. The brother that needed help in January, we were there. Today I asked him to come, and he's here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Keith Brown, president of the Oakland Education Association, and I'm here to say that on this Labor Day, we have your back, Labor family. It's an honor to stand here with ILWU Local 10 on this May Day. There's a growing workers' movement worldwide, and the Bay Area and Oakland is at the forefront of that movement. We know that Oakland is a union town. We know that here in Oakland, the workers' movement is growing. In Oakland, we had hotel workers saying one job should be enough, and they struck to win improvements in job securities and work safety. We had nurses and mental health workers go on strike to make sure that their patients got essential services. TSA workers in Oakland fought against Trump and said hell no to Trump for the uncalled government shutdown. And here in Oakland, the teachers, the educators of Oakland went on strike for 7 days for wins in lower class size, for wins in a living wage, and increased student support. And we appreciate Local 10 having our back in that strike. We thank you, Local 10. And today, we stand together. ILWU Local 10, we're saying no stadium on our public docks. Protect our workers. We all need good jobs. We must make sure that this port ensures that we have good jobs. We are saying no to the stadium. We are saying yes to investing in the community. So the 3,000 educators of the Oakland Education Association, we stand in solidarity with you, the Longshore workers. And okay, watch your heads out there. Watch your heads.
They got it.
They're coming from that train.
They got him.
Okay, so we need investments in education, affordable health care, affordable housing. We need good union jobs for all. We have an Oakland that can say yes to building new stadiums, but saying also that they need to close 24 schools in black and brown neighborhoods. We say hell no to that. That is unacceptable. We say public good over private gains. The teachers and dock workers, we stand strong together and we say that Oakland is a union town. Thank you.
Brothers and sisters, we got one more person. Very diligent. Come on up, Susan Becker. All of you guys know who Fred Becker was.
Oh, yeah.
Hey there, everyone. I'm Susan Solomon, president of United Educators of San Francisco. Happy to be here today with all of you. We stand together, warehouse and longshore workers, nurses, teachers, transportation workers, building trades, office workers, newspapers, theater workers. And if I left you out, shout it out. That's right, city workers. We celebrate and we recognize that the importance of solidarity among organized labor is as important as it ever has been. So I'm a kindergarten teacher by trade, and I have to say, one of the first things you learn is what? You share, and you don't take what doesn't belong to you.
Yeah.
So I think you know what I mean. So we have a historical connection to the ILWU, the IBU, and other maritime unions. I have a personal connection, having grown up in an ILWU family and married into part of it. But so most recently, as Brother Keith Brown was saying, the ILWU, IBU's support of the Oakland strike, the teachers, psychologists, nurses, counselors, librarians, helped make their fight a community fight and an organized labor fight. So my heart rejoiced when UESF members like myself walked through the streets of Oakland with OEA and saw ILWU signs and IBU signs showing that we are all in this fight together. Whose fight? Our fight. Whose fight? Our fight. Whose fight? Our fight. That's right. And it's good to be here in Oakland. So we have lots of ties in San Francisco, lots of ties to Oakland. First of all, safe jobs. Safe jobs are crucial to us. The sister brought that up already. Our last contract campaign for United Educators of San Francisco was about stable, safe, and supportive schools for the kids and for the teachers and their other educators. We can use that campaign for any union. Everybody deserves a safe workplace. If the current plan for this stadium would put ship's pilots at risk, then it's not a good plan. It's not a good plan. If the current plan for a stadium at this site would put the ecosystem of the state tidelands and the San Francisco Bay in harm's way, then this plan is not a good plan. We don't need this plan. We need a healthy, sustainable waterfront ecosystem that's good for all of us. We can't let corporate greed stand in the way. We care about Oakland, of course, because every child everywhere deserves an excellent public education. We're here because San Francisco educators stand in solidarity with Oakland educators. We're also here because due to the affordability crisis in San Francisco, 1/3 of my union's members don't live in San Francisco, and many of them live here. So we are literally here in Oakland. And then, of course, it's May Day. It's International Workers' Day for all of us. Yeah. Working people all over the world, in our cities and our towns and country. And we know that in recent years, and especially under Trump, the international part of International Workers' Day in our own land has taken on an urgent moment when we see our immigrant families being persecuted the way they're being persecuted. This includes ILWU Local 6 members who do the really difficult, nasty, dangerous job of recycling in our towns here. So just a few days ago, I was fortunate to be in Washington, D.C., and I went to the African American History Museum. And to see this clear, stark connection between our immigrant families who today are being separated by their family from their children and their families, just like African American slaves were done 100 years ago, over many years. We cannot let ourselves go back to those horrific, shameful days. We can't see our families being separated. It is a worker issue. So we do ask you as educators and educator unions to join with us on May 22nd in Sacramento. We're going to be calling for more, we'll be out in rallies and marches. We'll be calling for more funding for public education and for charter school accountability. So as we celebrate May Day around the world and we stand in solidarity with all of the working people in this land and beyond, we've got to keep on fighting, we've got to keep on struggling, we've got to keep on celebrating our victories side by side. We can't go backward, forward ever, backward never. Thank you.
I got one announcement. If you lost the phone, please come to me and get it. I have the phone.
All right, let me just say that since I did put my notes aside, I forgot to tell you that yes, I may come from Washington, D.C., but there are 50,000 flight attendants at 20 airlines who joined this fight, and some of them are from right here in San Francisco out here today. So I want to thank my sisters who came out for this fight, and thank my Uncle John who came from San Francisco to join this fight too. And I want to just note too that when I got to the city last night, I was treated with good union craft beer. Woo! Thank you. And meeting Augustine, who totally inspired me as he told me the story of being introduced to the labor movement by Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, and we see the farm workers here too. And I just can't tell you how much it means to me to be out here with you on International Workers' Day. Okay, and so thank you very much, and thanks to flight attendants for coming out too.
Thank you very much.
Hey, my name is Grace Belden. I'm a worker at Anchor Brewing Company. Local 6. Well, I haven't paid any dues yet, but, you know, we'll get there. A year ago when I started at Anchor, I saw that I was making $2 less than I'd made 10 years ago, and my rent was twice as much. They kept me at 20, they still keep me at 29 hours a week, so I don't get any benefits. I don't get any vacation time. I don't get shit. So on my first week there, I was lucky enough to work with Garrett, and he came up to me and told me that we were going to start talking about a union. So we started meeting with the DSA, Labor Committee in San Francisco. They introduced us to Peter Olney, who introduced us to the ILWU. And we made our lists, and we talked to people, and we had whispered conversations, and we had a lot of nights waiting for people, talking to them, and then we did it. We started a union. We believe to be the first craft brewer union in the U.S. We're owned by Sapporo. So it's the same kind of companies that own the docks, same kind of companies that own everything. And we saw around us, like this past couple years, that workers have been under attack in every sector. You got Trump's NLRB, you got the NLRB wasn't great anyways, but you got their NLRB, you got their fucking laws. But when we started this campaign and we went out in the community, we had overwhelming support from the working class of San Francisco. It was great. We had people from different unions, except for one, which I'm sure some of you can guess what it is. We had people from different unions come out and support us on their own time. It was excellent. And when we won with the overwhelming support of the workers. So I want to thank all of you for coming out here. I want to thank ILWU for letting us join their union. I've been wanting to join this union since I was a kid. And we want to say we're going to keep fighting. We got our contract campaign coming up, and we want to get the best contract that any brewery in the USA has. So we're going to keep fighting. We got our friends in Potrero Hill at the San Francisco Veterinary Service Specialist Hospital, who are also ILWU, who are also Local 6, who are also in contract negotiations. And they're fighting hard against Mars Corporation, the candy bar people, who for some reason own all the pet hospitals. So when you come out for us, come out for them too. So we're going to make all Potrero Hill ILWU. So it's great to be here. I've been to so many of these May Day things for ILWU that I'm excited to be finally part of it as part of the union. And I want to say keep fighting, fuck Taft-Hartley, and I'll see you guys out there.
Hey guys, first and foremost, I want to say thank you. It's an honor to be here. My name is Gary Herrera. I'm the Vice President of Local 13, Southern California. I wasn't prepared to come up here, but I'm going to tell you something. I'm super proud to be a part of this. Here's where it all started. Down south, right now, we're fighting for our lives. And it's all because of corporate greed. It's all because they want to get rid of the middle class. They want a top tier, they want a poor class. They want to get rid of all of us. Right there in San Francisco, where it all started, there's a picture when the ILW started in 1934 of the individuals that were killed. Thousands of people on the side. But those weren't longshoremen. Those were every union and all the community that rallied behind. History has a way of repeating itself. It's time today to start a revolution for the workers and go back and fight for what we belong. Fight for our rights. So today, I'm proud, I'm honored to walk side by side with you and fight this fight. And I hope that we grow in numbers and we make this a worldwide revolution, because it's time to take back what is ours. It's time to take back and get more of what we deserve. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Hello, my brothers and sisters. My name is Keith Shankman. I'm the president of Local 34 at the ILWU. And I want to let you guys know I am so proud to be here today, standing here with my fellow brothers, the community, everybody that came out. Please give yourself a hand for coming out here. You guys did a wonderful job. And I'm sure that everybody that came out here are making themselves known, and I'm sure that they know that we are not going to go away. These are our docks. They belong to us. They're just renting, okay? And the lease is not up yet. And we're not giving it up. And we're not going away. We're going to stand here, we're going to stand strong, we're going to stand together, shoulder to shoulder, arm to arm, lock, step, and go. You're not going to get this that easy. It ain't coming to you easy. You want this, it's going to be hard, because we ain't giving up like that. We don't do those kind of things. The ILWU is built on struggle, and guess what? We're still struggling, because guess what? We don't believe in corporate greed. That has a place, not here on this dock. Please support us, but support yourself, because an injury to one is an injury to all. Thank you.
Clean it up, Mark. Clean it up.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. For those of you who don't know me from other unions, my name is Trent Willis, Trent Buster Jr. Willis. I'm the business agent for the International Longshore and Warehouseman Union. Proud union man, strong, and I'm happy to be out here. I want to welcome all of the different unions that are here today, the farm workers. Welcome. Special welcome to our brother, sister local down south, local 13. Yeah. Thanks for coming up and supporting us. Yeah. We got Canada in the house. ILWU Canada. Right on. We want to welcome the Teachers Union here. And most important, brothers and sisters, we want to welcome the community here. And when I say community, I mean us all. But sometimes, especially in the future, I mean not the future, but the present time, we tend to separate union members from the community. Now, back when we got started, back in the 1930s, okay, our ancestors understood one thing. Nothing happens without the connection between labor and the community. Labor is the community. You are the community. And it's time that our younger generation longshoremen start figuring out who we are. The conditions that you enjoy today out on the waterfront, we did not gain those conditions by being nice people. We didn't gain those conditions by shucking and jiving with the employers. It took brute force to gain those conditions. It took brute force from this community to hold the employers off, which is the reason why we're not working for slave wages right now. And I'm going to tell you one of the strongest unions that was responsible for that happening. It's the ILWU. Now, all you Local 10 brothers and sisters out there, you be proud of your history. But more important than being proud of your history, you have to carry your history on. You have to make history right now. Now, our younger generation, longshoremen, we haven't had very many battles here, not like the kind they had in the 30s and the 40s. We haven't had those battles. Sometimes we need to be reminded who we are. And who we are is labor. And nothing moves in this country without labor. And as we can see today right now, as I speak on this stage, nothing moves in the Bay Area without labor. Most important, nothing moves on these docks without the ILWU. So with that said, whose docks are these then? Whose docks are these? Whose docks are these? That's right. Now we have other demonstrations going on other than this demonstration today. We have our union officials, our Local 10 union officials, our other sister locals going up to Sacramento. We're trying to rally our elected officials to get behind the people, which you shouldn't have to rally elected officials to get behind the people, because the people are the ones who elect them. But sometimes you have to show your elected officials who elected them. That's what this demonstration is out here today. So the next time ILWU Local 10 members in particular, when you hear about our union officials going to Sacramento to go talk to our elected officials about what we want down here on these docks, we need a crowd like this to go to Sacramento. We need a crowd like this coming specifically from the International Longshoremen ILWU Local 10. Because I think that it's time. I think that it's been past time that this generation, not the last generation, we're not living off the last generation's props or the generation before them's props. It's time for us to pay our way. It's time for us to pay our dues. It's time for us to sacrifice what we need to sacrifice to make sure that the ILWU lives on forever. Now we're going to get ready to march. They're towing cars on Clay Street.
Where's Clay Street?
Third and Clay?
I don't know, but she said third, which is right here. Clay is too far down. It's a couple streets over this way.
Yeah, a couple of streets over to the left down here. Okay. All right, brothers and sisters, we're going to have one more speaker before we get ready to march. Two more speakers? Okay, two more speakers before we get ready to march. But Local 10 members, listen up. Listen up, Local 10 members, because I want to see if you guys are ready. So you guys repeat after me, and we're going to see if you're ready to go. Y'all with me? Yeah! When I say union, you say fight. Union! Fight! Union! Fight! When I say people, you say fight. People! Fight! People! Fight! When I say local, you say 10. Local! 10! Local! 10! Local! 10! All right. Now listen, we're going to work on that. We're going to work on that. Now listen, the only thing y'all got to get, this Local 10 members, the only thing you got to get is that last part. When you get to that last part, when I say local, you say 10. It's local, 10, local, 10, local, 10, 10, 10. 3 times. 3 times at the end and stop. Y'all ready? Yeah. When I say union, you say fight. Union. Fight. Union. Fight. When I say people, you say fight. People. Fight. People. Fight. When I say local, you say 10. Local. 10. Local. 10. Local. 10. 10. 10. Yeah. All right, I want to introduce ILWU Canada. Am I right? What's your name, sister? We got Sister Jolene from ILWU Canada. Y'all give her all the respect she needs. We're going to have a few more speakers. Then we're going to get started down the street.
Thank you, thank you. Someone wants their shirt, I heard that, right? First of all, I just want to say thank you to Melvin for calling us, you know, because that's what we do. People say we need a hand, we show up, right? What does this say? An injury to one? An injury to one? So if you need help, you give us a call, right? And up in Canada, what we say, union, when I say union, you say power. Union, union power. That's right. So I wasn't prepared coming up here. All I know is I suit up and I show up, right? When anybody reaches out, we're there. That's what I was taught. This union job has given me, as a minority, as a woman, as a Native Indigenous woman, as a Chinese woman whose father was an immigrant in Canada, a really, really good job, a good opportunity. So what do? I give back. I give back. You know, I thank the teachers because they're the ones taking care of our kids, right? My last name is Parent, but you're taking care of the kids. I love that. So, you know, I asked my president about coming up here and support, and he's all about us supporting other workers, you know, because workers are workers. And some of you might see the lovely pin that we probably ran out of, but it says, our coast, our jobs, our future. We're dealing with the same thing up in Canada. Our coast, our jobs, our future. Because who's paying for this infrastructure? Us, workers. Who's taking care of the people who can't put food in their mouth? The taxes from us, workers. Yeah, showing up. ILWU strong. You know, if ththey're not in a union yet, what do? We organize, and fucking organize. So, you know, I don't even drink. I support that organization. Why? Because they're union. And what does my shirt say? Union rights, human rights. Union rights, human rights. Union rights, human rights. Union rights, human rights. Thank you. So I appreciate that because we got to help other people who can't be there to help themselves. We have a responsibility when people reach out. So, you know, again, coming from where I come from, we honor our elders, we honor the pensioners, and I'm always inspired by the pensioners. I'm honored by the people who went before us to get these jobs, to get these contracts, that are sharing that wisdom, sharing that knowledge. Why? Because when we all do better, we all do better. That's what a pensioner says. This elder, Barry Campbell, he's got this bag. And he's a pensioner, and he can barely speak because of the health and issues that he deals with, dealing with asbestos and working stuff that he has to deal with. And one of these pictures he has, this bag, it says, when we all do better, we all do better. So again, it's about elevating everybody. I just want to thank everybody here for coming. I thank you for the hospitality you've given us for Canada. We are here to support you. We love you, and God bless you.
All right, y'all, give it up for her one more time. Give it up for her one more time. When I say union, you say fight. Union. Fight. Union. Fight. When I say people, you say fight. People. Fight. People. Fight. When I say local, you say 10. Local. 10. Local. 10. Local. 10. 10. 10. Right on, right on. All right, y'all, I forgot to tell y'all that we got the International in the house. We got the International Longshore Warehouses Union International here, and we got one of our own representing the International, Brother Ed Ferris.
All right, happy May Day. Local 10 in the house? Where you at? All right, my name is Ed Ferris. My registration number is 9344, proud member of Local 10. And I'm the International Secretary-Treasurer for the ILWU. On behalf of all the titled officers, I want to commit our support in making sure that this stays a dock. I think the city of Oakland should be more taking a priority about the homelessness problem in this damn town. How is this a priority? When I started working on the docks in 1992, this whole neighborhood was far different. We're seeing gentrification. It's bullshit. I came down the street what used to be a rough area of town. They got a fucking wine bar. What is going on here? All right? So bottom line, we have to stand up to corporate greed. Our very future survival is at stake. I understand the Oakland A's want to have a new stadium, and that's fine. Do it at the existing site. Everybody just saw the traffic nightmare that's right here. Do you think it's going to improve when we have all the traffic coming to a ball game? Get out of here. And are people who buy these $1 million condos, are they really going to want to hear hatch lids banging at 2 o'clock in the morning? I don't think so. So let's march down the street, let's be loud, let's be proud, and let's make sure the city of Oakland, the mayor, council, everybody understand that this stays a dock. It's our dock. So when I say union, you say power. Union! Power! Union! Power! Union! Power! Right on.
All right, brothers and sisters, we got a few more speakers we're going to bring up here. And we just want to send a clear statement to our employers and to the city and to the port. Because Local 10 is not alone here. Local 10 has its own internal family. I know that the employers think that we soar. They think we flat-footed. They think we lost our way. But they're going to get a rude awakening. So with that said, brothers and sisters, I want to introduce another member of our ILWU family from Local 6, Secretary-Treasurer, Brother Chris Stan.
All right, Chris Castang, Secretary-Treasurer. How's it going, everybody? ILWU! I just want to thank everybody for the support with Anchor Steam Brewing, first craft beer. Welcome, Local 6. Our vet techs, we're working on that, right? We're going to keep it moving. I just want to thank everybody, for showing your support. And, in echoing Ed's words, definitely standing here watching these trucks almost run over everybody. How could you possibly want to displace people from a public port and build a stadium? You have a stadium, and where Local 6 is located, for those that don't know, we're in Oakland. We're off of Hagenberger, right where the old stadium is. Why not tear that down and build something there? Think about the past history and all the people that you've displaced when you built that. But no, it's about corporate greed. It's about high-priced condominiums, storefronts. It's about corporate greed. So I'm very proud to be a part of this labor movement. And let's march. ILWU, baby.
All right, welcome all of our ILWU family out there. Local 10, give them a round of applause. Show your appreciation. All right, the next speaker we got, brothers and sisters, moving right along. Our own brother from here, former Local 10 member, current Local 34 Vice President, Brother Ricky Cox.
How y'all doing? I just want to say I'm proud to be here, number one. I'm proud to be one of you guys. I'm proud to be that ID, number 1295. I'm proud to be the un-ID. I'm proud to be that B-man. I'm proud to be that A-man. I'm proud to be on them investigating committees. I'm proud to be in dispatch. I'm proud to be on an executive board. I'm proud to be here right now. I'm proud to be in Local 34. I was proud to be the vice president of Local 34 of the ILWU. I'm talking about a little dude that come from Funktown, that come from 12th Ave and East 25th in Oakland, California. I am proud to be that person. I'm proud to stand by y'all every day. Every day. Y'all see me on these ports. Y'all see me fighting for y'all all the fucking time. I am proud to be ILWU. Now, the A's want to build on our stadium. Didn't the Raiders leave? Ain't the Warriors leaving? You got 40 acres and a mule over there. Take that shit. Do a Gattor stadium. Tear that shit down and build another one. That's all you got to do. This is about private corporate money. They said that they ain't gonna get no taxpayers' money because they want to own that. They want to take that from us.
We not gonna have that. That's what we do. We ILWU. We fight. That's what we do. That's what we about. We about fighting every time. If y'all fight for your motherfucking breaks, fight for your motherfucking job. I love y'all.
All right, right on, brother Ricky Cox. All right, brothers and sisters, we got a representative from the truckers here, from GST. Right, Mr. Randy Garcia.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. We complete the job that all of you start. This port here is an assembly line. It's an assembly line of services. The ships come from all over the world. The ships deliver the freight that each of you handle in and out. And my 10,000 brothers in the transportation industry go out and deliver it to the customers. That's an assembly line of services. We may not produce cars, we may not produce refrigerators, we may not produce airplanes, but we keep the shelves of every store, of every supermarket, of every grocery, of every mall filled with products so the people can have access to it. We're facing a defining moment in the city of Oakland. Is the mayor of Oakland, is the city council of Oakland, are the port commissioners of Oakland going to stand by the working men and women of this city and this country, or are they going to stand by the rich men of this city and this state? We are the people, and as such, we got to take on our place today and in history always to make sure that we don't trade selling peanuts or sodas or beers on a part-time job at a stadium for jobs that are going to guarantee a livelihood, a future, some kind of hope for our children, for our families, and for our children's children. That's why we're here today, to assume our role. We vote all these people that live off of our taxes, and now they want to take away our jobs. They want to transform this port into a playground, and we're here to let them know that it's going to take them walking over our dead bodies to give up this port. So I say to you, we, the people, we have the power, we have the right, we have the votes, and we're going to make sure that this city lives to its commandment. Work for the people, help the people, serve the people, and give the people a future. God bless you, and let's march on.
All right, thank you. That's what I was going to say, brothers and sisters. Hey, brothers and sisters, you got to realize one thing. As of right now, the union and the representative from GST, we happen to be on the same side as far as not using these docks for purposes that don't benefit working people in this area. After we finish this fight, then we want to come and have a discussion with you about organizing those truck drivers. And also, for the truck drivers out here today, what we doing out here is a benefit to these truck drivers. Okay, if they build a stadium here, all these truck drivers we was letting conveniently go through here earlier, they won't have a job. So you have to understand who you are, which is what I said when I first started talking. Understand who you are and what you're doing. And with that said, I'm going to introduce our last speaker before we start marching down the street. This brother needs really no introduction, but the only reason I'm doing this is because there's some people that's not in the ILWU here that might need to know who he is. But I'm going to introduce to you right now the ILWU Local 10 Vice President, Brother Brad B. Rad Bradford.
Good afternoon. I'm going to try to be real short and sweet. A lot of us think that we don't have the power. We still have power. We have to worry about how we utilize that power. We have to, from the ground up, even within your local, you have to watch who you put in position to fight for you. Because you get people in position to fight for you, and they turn their back on you. So when you go to this poll locally, and then you go to the local at 11 at the city level, you have to watch who you put in office. You have a mayor right now that's supporting this goddamn movement. That's bullshit. How does a person that don't stay in your community vote for something against your community? You see what's happening right now in West Oakland. You have people that have been born and raised in West Oakland, can't even afford to stay in Oakland. Now you're talking about they're going to create new jobs. Most of those jobs are non-union jobs. They're trying to take jobs that's been here before the A's. I'm an A's supporter, but I rock everything Detroit. I'm a Tiger fan. But you build that shit right over there in East Oakland, fulfill your promise that you told East Oakland you would do. Build that community up and leave our fucking docks alone. That's the bottom line. So, on top of that, real quick, like Brother Trent said, what are you willing to give up to keep what you have? We all know that we are all blessed to be down here. We're all blessed for the people that fought before us to allow us to be here. None of us are down here because we're smart. We didn't take no exam. We didn't compete once against one another. We didn't do any of that. We made ourselves available. The job was there for the taking, and most of us don't want to fight for it. Our fight is different than the old timers. The old timers, you read the books, look at the documentary. They fought and shot at the police to keep these jobs. Right there in San Francisco, they had shootouts. It was real. Our fight is different now. So what are you willing to do? Most people don't even want to give up a day's wage to keep their fucking job. You got people calling me this morning, over 100 people, about, is it jobs tonight? Fuck them jobs tonight. Let's march all the way to midnight. Because when it's all said and done, it's going to be over with, brother. You're part of something bigger than you. So be willing to fight for something bigger than you. And thank you.
All right, brothers and sisters, I know I said that was going to be the last speaker, but we had to make an exception for one more speaker, because this speaker is in the ILWU family. All you ILWU members out there who don't know, which I'm pretty sure it's not a lot of you who don't know this, we have the Inland Boatmen's Union in the house. Yeah. The Inland Boatmen's Union is our sister local here in the Bay Area. So with that said, I want to introduce the president of the Inland Boatmen's Union, Sister Marina.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out today. I just wanted to say a few things. Melvin and I tried to get something going when we heard about this effort on the Oakland A's to take this land. And I want to share with you something for each person that came out today. So when we started this fight, we were told, it's too late. Sorry, it's a done deal. The governor's in favor of it. The mayor's in favor of it. You know, our good friend Rob Bonta's in favor of it. You're not going to get anywhere, guys. You might as well give up and try and get something out of it for your local. Well, that's not our style, you know. So we set upon a mission. Thank you, Melvin, for your leadership and Local 10 and all of our ILWU locals. We partnered with the PMSA and, you know, the truck drivers and so many different people in this effort to where we now have about 30 people struggling, attending meetings in the Capitol, you know, fighting back. That's how we're going to win this battle, is by all of us making ourselves available for this fight. That's right. You know, you got public land. You got a BCDC, an agency that's supposed to be very committed to the people. This is public land. Well, they're looking at potentially moving the process to get the environmental issues all resolved. Fast forward that. No, that is unacceptable. This is our land. We're not giving it up for a private company. I don't care how popular they are, and I know they're popular, but this is our land, and these are our jobs. And if we don't protect our jobs, we're not going to have any jobs, okay? We're not going to have good paying jobs unless we come out and we fight for them. So I just want to say there's more to be done on this struggle. This is the beginning of it, and don't back down from it now. Thank you.
All right, brothers and sisters, we're going to get going. We're going to get going on our march. But real quick, before we get going, some last words, in particular for our ILWU Local 10 members out here, my brothers and sisters. In 2011, I know that a lot of people here that remember this. A huge contingent of workers in the community marched over that bridge over there and shut this whole port down. The reason that those people, our brothers and sisters, gathered together and shut that port down, they didn't do that because they didn't like longshoremen. They didn't do that because they was mad at us. They did that because they was sending a message to this city and to our government about who this public land belongs to. This is not land for you to come and make all the jobs non-union and low-wage paying jobs. And just to say it like it is, that is exactly what building a stadium here is going to do. It's going to bring low-wage, non-union jobs here to replace union strong jobs. Now, the only thing we have as working people, because we are poor people, even if you have a good job, you are still a poor person compared to the people you are fighting against. The only weapon we have when we're fighting against our oppressors is our labor. Sometimes you got to have the courage. You got to have the grit. You got to have the fire to use that labor, to send that message. And this is what we're doing here today. This ain't the only fight we have here in the Bay Area. Local 10 brothers and sisters, you see these so-called satellite yards popping up all over the port with them stacking boxes. We stack boxes in the Bay Area here. And everywhere else, we stack containers. It ain't no empty yards around here without us working the empty yards. So get ready for the next fight. When I say union, you say fight. Union. Union. When I say people, you say fight. People. People. When I say local, you say 10. Local. 10. Local. 10. Local. 10. 10. 10. Let's get ready to march, brothers and sisters.